Welcome to the Art of Likeability, where you learn the secrets to becoming more likable in all areas of your life. Increasing your likability improves your relationships, and improved relationships increases your success in all areas of your life. Let's jump in with your host, Arel Moody.
All right, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of The Art of Likeability. I am your host, Arel Moody. So very excited to go over some really cool topics. The information shared throughout this podcast is set up to do really quick, really easy to digest ways for you to increase your likability in your professional life, in your personal life, in your romantic life, all areas of your life, so that you can have better relationships and have more success. Likability is the precursor to all relationships. I mean, think about it. People don't get into business relationships or personal relationships with people that they don't like. It's just common sense. So I didn't know how to become likable, and I wanted to, had a good heart, and I wanted to just be connected with people. So I started learning everything I possibly could to figure out how to do just that. So what I decided to do was to put together different topics of what has been the biggest increase in my relationships and how you can do the same. So I want to talk about something that is a very important topic to likability. It's a phrase that I love, and it's that for you to become likable, you have to be interesting. For you to become interesting, you have to become interested in other people. What you'll actually find is that the less you talk about yourself and the more you put the spotlight on the other person, the more they actually will like you in return. The majority of people can't wait to talk about themselves. The reason why is that they never get an opportunity to. In most situations, people don't ask questions and listen. They ask questions and wait for you to answer so that you can hear them answer the exact same question that they asked you. So it's like the person who comes up to you and says, "Hey, what did you do last weekend?" And then you start to answer. They go, "Well, what I did is I went to da-da-da-da-da-da." So they didn't really care about what you did. They just wanted to tell you about what they did, and they think they're being really covert and awesome by sneaking it in somehow. And the truth is that they're not. And you hate that, I hate that, and no one hates that. It's really hard to, at first, put all your focus on the other person. I want you to imagine, actually, that you are a stage director, okay, or event producer or whatever, and you control the spotlight, okay? You've got your stage, you got your lights, but you have your spotlight. You are going to put the spotlight solely on the person that you're talking to. I want you to be connected to them, ask them questions. Tell me a little bit more about yourself. One of the phrases that I actually love, this is kind of like my pocket phrase when I meet someone, because it's a different way. What you don't want to do, by the way, when you meet someone, don't be interested in their career. It's the number one question people ask. Everyone typically doesn't look forward to that question. You meet someone, "Hi, what's your name? So what do you do?" It's almost saying like what you do professionally defines who you are as a person. Now, for some people, when you meet them, they don't like talking about their profession. Maybe they're in a job that they don't like. Maybe they just got out of a really long work day, and talking about work is the last thing they want to do. Or some people, they spend their entire day doing work. When they're in a personal situation, the last thing they want to do is talk about work. Now, it's not a bad thing to inquire about what someone does for a living, but there's a better way to first, when you're meeting someone, get them to like you and find out what you really care about is who this person is as an individual. So you want to become interested in that person. So what I like to ask people is, tell me one thing new and or exciting in your life. Something I might ask is, what's one thing that you're working on right now that you're most excited about? Now, the reason why the posing of that question is so important is because you're not saying work related. You're not saying person related. You're letting them interpret whatever that might mean to them. So when you say what's one thing new and exciting, they could talk about work. They could talk about a new yo-yo they just bought. They could talk about anything. But you get to really let them see where they want to direct the conversation. And wherever they choose to want to direct it is a really good indication of what's important to this person. In addition to that, by saying what's one project that you're most excited about, you get the ability to find out what's something that means a lot to them that that's coming up. And maybe you can find a way to help them. You can come up with, oh, you're working on this project. Maybe I have a resource. So become interested in that person. Listen to what they say. And instead of trying to jump in and say how you do something similar, find out more about what they are going to be doing. So listen, ask more in-depth questions based on the responses that you get. And if somebody says to you, oh, nothing's new, nothing's exciting, you go, come on, I've never met you before. There's got to be something new or something exciting. I'm not going to let you off the hook. Say it with a smile and with a good gesture, but that actually will make the person kind of feel like, all right, let me brag a little bit. And sometimes you should tell someone, if I say, hey, what's one thing new and exciting? I say, just so you know, feel free to brag to me. I want to hear all about it. When you first meet someone who says that, it kind of makes you feel a little bit lighthearted. It makes you feel a little happy that someone's actually putting a focus on you. So I highly, highly, highly recommend that when you meet people, become genuinely interested in them. I want you to put the spotlight solely on them, shine that bright light on them, and then put all of your interest into what they have to say. Now, what's important is that you don't barrage them with questions. You have to use what's called softening statements. So what I mean by that is if I meet you and I go, tell me what's one thing new and exciting. How long have you been doing it? Who else are you doing it with? How much money do you want to make with it? You'd be like, hey, calm down, buddy. Chill out. Yeah. I feel like this is an interrogation. So what's important is that when someone says something and you respond, you want to use what's called softening statements. So you're putting the focus on them. You're asking them questions. Here's how it might sound. The person might say, oh, one thing that's new and exciting is I'm working on a new fishing trip with my friends, and we're going to go to this place and go fishing. Instead of going, who's going with you, or what are you going to fish? You say, oh man, you're going fishing. That's awesome. Is there a type of fish that you're trying to catch? Well, yeah, we really want to catch these, big mouth bass. I don't know much about fish. Just go with me on this one. We really want to catch big mouth bass. And I go, oh, big mouth bass. Why? So what I'm doing is I'm repeating what they're saying, I'm acknowledging what they're saying, and then I'm showing that I'm interested in more about that subject. They say, oh, big mouth bass because those are the best tasting fish and we want to get the best tasting fish. You go, oh man, that's gotta be delicious. Tell me, I never noticed that fish have different tastes. When you say best tasting, is it like a mild? Is it like what do you mean by that? So they'll say, oh, well, it means this, it means that. I say, oh man, that's so cool. And then ask them more stuff. Be like, wow, now if you don't know a lot about fishing, this is your chance to be like, I don't know a lot about fishing. So you could say, oh man, I really don't know a lot about fishing. Are you like walking into the water with those like big rubber leg things? Or are you staying tell me more? Or if you do know a lot about fishing, do not, and I repeat, do not try to tell them about a fishing trip you've been on. A lot of people think that by connecting with people, by telling them about their fishing skills as well, they'll connect because they have a commonality. That's actually not the case. That person probably will feel like you're trying to one-up them. Nobody likes to be one-upped. No one likes one-uppers, okay? Instead, maybe you should put your focus on saying, oh man, you go fishing for bass. That's amazing. I love fishing. Tell me more about some of your favorite fishing spots. So you're acknowledging that you have a similar interest, but you're not going into this long diatribe about how you catch big fish and how you're amazing at catching fish. You're acknowledging that you love it as well, and you want to find out more about them. When you first meet people, be interested in that person. Let the light shine on them. I want you to imagine that you are Sherlock Holmes and you have to put this investigator hat on, and you want to find out something super cool and super interesting about this person. And you want to get to know about who they are as an individual. Ask them questions about what they do to spend most of their time. What do they do for fun? What do they do that's interesting? What do they do that's exciting? What's something that they've learned recently that's meant a lot to them? Don't ask, tell me what you do. It's a question no one likes when they first meet someone. Eventually it will come up. Just know it will come up. And if there's someone of significance or important that can help you in some way, it'll be much better to learn about that as a second thought where you first bonded because of a fishing trip. And you'll have a much greater chance of having a likability factor go through the roof with this type of person because you connected first on something that they may care about as a human, then you connect with something that they may care about about as a professional. So I want you to apply this in your life. I want you to go out and your very next conversation, I want you to shine the spotlight on the person that you talk to. Ask them questions about their day. Ask them questions about something that's new or their favorite song. Put the spotlight on them and then do active listening. All right. We'll focus on active listening and how to really do it the right way, because most people do it the wrong way in next podcast. So hope this helps. Hope this is something that you can use and connect with people at a deep, meaningful level. Make sure to subscribe to the Art of Likeability podcast. Download it, listen to it over and over, use it to make your life more awesome, because remember, if we increase our likability, we increase the chances of having deep relationships with people. If we increase deep relationships with people, then we increase our chances of success and happiness. And if you don't want to be successful and happy, you are listening to the wrong podcast. All right, you are awesome. See you at the next podcast. High five.
Thanks for listening to The Art of Likeability. Please remember to subscribe to the podcast for more awesome info on how you can improve your likability and improve your life. Until next time, remember, you are awesome!